The Bosa conversation, this came out a little, I'm trying to think of like exact date on, I'm trying to see exact date on this, I should say, as I scroll. This came out 5 hours ago. This came out 5 hours ago. And this is from Dan Graziano, and what he's hearing around the league and what we've recently seen come out is there seems to be a little bit of an expectation that this is going to happen. The people, Dan Graziano of ESPN says this, the people I talk to think that the likely outcome is that the Chargers will cut Joey Bosa. He will be a camp cut, but they thought the same thing last year, and Bosa and the Chargers were able to get a deal done to keep him there. He's scheduled to make $25.36 million this season, but nearly half of that comes in the form of a $12 million roster bonus due next month. So while none of his 2025 money is guaranteed, the Chargers would obviously want to decide by the time they have to pay the roster bonus. That's why this is going to be something quick happening here. With Khalil Mack eligible for unrestricted free agency and the Chargers contractually prohibited from franchising Mack, keeping Bosa, who had 5 sacks in 2024, could turn out to be a priority. That is, unless they want to overhaul their entire edge rush room the way they did their wide receiving core last year, which is possible. And I'll be honest with you. It is what I expect to happen with Harbaugh at the helm. Why? Exactly what it said. It's how they went about fixing things last year. They walked in the room. They said, hey, buddy, you going to restructure a deal? No. Trade him. Keenan Allen. We don't even want to keep what was the other wide receiver's name? Mike, why can't I think of his last name right now? You know who I'm talking about. Mike, my brain is going Mike Miller. I know that's the basketball player. Mike Williams. Thank you. Pterodactyl Pops hitting me with it as well. Pause. Jesus, Pat. That was nuts. The Joey Bosa conversation is a tough one because I do believe you have to take injury heavily into account here. But if you're telling me that I can get a player like Joey Bosa on maybe more of a budget deal, knowing what he can be when he is healthy, knowing how he gets to the quarterback. He's still great in the run in limited time last season. Again, missed some time due to injury, but did play 14 games. Pass rush grade was a little bit down according to Fifth. Still forced 2 fumbles last season. Had 14 solo tackles, 5 sacks. Here's where I think Bosa gets interesting. Can I bring Bosa in on a discount deal at 29 years old and maybe draft a Prince Umaliunum in the second round? Getting that guy where it's like, look, we have this guy. We know who he is. We know who he once was. He still is impactful when he's on the field. But I have this young piece as well who's on the field at the edge, learning from Joey Bosa, learning from Montez Sweat, getting his opportunity, still getting an opportunity to get on the field. I'm not saying don't play him, but maybe even keeping Bosa a little bit fresher in that situation. Now, again, it all depends on the kind of contract that Bosa wants. You see the numbers that he was supposed to get coming out of this season. But if I can get Bosa in here on he's getting 12 in the signing bonus. They're probably not going to pay him that. If I can get Bosa in here on a $15 to $18 million deal, I'm not tripping at that. I'm not losing my mind at that because, again, when the player is healthy And he was more healthy last season. His problem was more so finishing the games. Kind of a little Tevin Jenkins's. But I think his impact is more when he's on the field. And so I'd be intrigued by Joey Bosa. I wouldn't say, listen, guys have down years, guys have injury years, and they bounce back. I would be intrigued to see what Bosa could do if you brought him in here. I would be intrigued to see what he brings. Now, I think the tough part about this is, right, with all of the other people that we talked about, with all of the other names, the Myles Garretts, the Micah Parsons, the Max Crosbys, the Trey Hendricksons, right? They come in and they're instantly the number one on defense. They come in and they're instantly the number one guy on the defense. Montez Sweat becomes your two. In this situation, with where Bosa's at, I don't know. In this situation, with health-wise, where Bosa's at, that's tough. Now, again, I'd be intrigued by this. I'm not saying you got to go do it. I'm not saying you're dying to do it. But with him as a name on free agency, if you start to go through some of the names that are available out there, if you start to go through some of the things you're going to have to get up, if you told me I could get Joey Bosa at a discount, I'd be intrigued by it. The injuries are concerning. The injuries are very concerning. But if you get that healthy season out of Joey Bosa, is he going to be one of those players that stays injured? Is he going to be one of those players that is this is kind of the rest of his career? And I'll tell you this, I wouldn't overpay for him. If your price is 15, if my price is 15, my price is 15. You know what I mean? Like it's a discount deal. It is hey, you want to come here? No? All right, have a good life. Appreciate you, brother. You intrigued to play in Chicago? No? Have a great life, man. Appreciate you. Stay safe. Blessings. I expect them probably to want to stay out west too. I think that San Francisco is somebody who's in play. I think that when you talk about teams that make sense for him, I think Denver could be a team. Although I got to look at Denver's cap space. I don't know if Denver's got the cap. Although, again, what's he getting offered? I think the Rams could be a team maybe in play if he wants to stay in LA. But we'll see kind of what the Bosa conversation ends up being. I think that that's an interesting one to keep an eye on as well. Free agency is getting interesting. It's heating up, man. Free agency is getting interesting, and it is heating up quickly. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you guys as well. Do you want a Joey Bosa in the building? Do you want the Bears to go out and overspend on a Trey Smith? Feels like this Bears team is starting to move, is going to be moving in the right direction. They're going to have opportunities to do that, a ton of opportunities to do that this offseason. We'll see what it ends up being in the long run. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.